Hi there, my name is Nadia SAYERS and I'm your Miss Universe Ireland, and welcome to the Pageants and PJs podcast.
Good evening, everyone. It's Adrian from the Pageant Project with you. It's actually put Danielle in the right place for once. There you go, Danielle. Special guest for today is the lovely fairy herself, Nadia SAYERS. Nadia, you made Chloe and us. I'm talking about myself. Chloe and myself cry. You saw that, right?
So whenever it happened, my phone was super busy. So I was like, oh, they were talking about it. And then I went back a couple days later and watched the full clip. And I was like, oh my goodness, the sweetest thing ever. And I shared it. It was adorable. I nearly cried watching you guys cry.
We didn't mean to cry. I started showing it, and then Chloe said, "Why'd you show that? No, you made me cry." And then because she was crying and I was crying, it was horrible.
I know, guys. I know. This is like another home for me now. Keep annoying you until you have me back.
It was just a proud moment. It was such a proud moment. You looked incredible.
Oh, thank you so much.
We have to show. Okay, so I'm going to show the clip again. Okay, just to take Nadia back, because if my intuition is right, you'll still get shivers up your spine when you see it. So let's show Nadia her actually called it her Victoria's Secret moment. And then she can actually give, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
Ooh.
That's freaky.
Computer was like, not today.
Let me try that again. That would be typical. All right. And Chloe, by the way, is, I think she's in the comments. I'll circle that in a sec, but Chloe's had a little accident with her hand, unfortunately. But Chloe, I'm glad you got it checked out. All right, Nadia. So, thoughts?
Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now. I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fire left in me.
Well, I can see you smiling.
I
I knew this would happen.
I got shivers in my arms, and oh my goodness.
Oh. What was you thinking about in that moment when you were on stage? Was there anything in anything?
No, partially don't trip. I think that goes through every pageant girl's head. When you step on stage, you're like, don't fall, please don't fall. If you fall, at least laugh. But no, it was so busy, trying to get on the stage, because obviously, I'm sure you know yourself, backstage is a bit crazy, especially when it comes to national costume, because it's not like somewhere evening gown where there's a bit of a pattern and a rhythm to everything. National costume, there are big costumes, ornaments, wings, everything. You're trying to push people through doors. So I was sprinting down the hall to get to that side of stage. Someone was coming behind me, securing my wings. And as one was securing my wings, I was like, she needs to go. So in my head, it was like I ran on the stage and then was like, okay, play it cool.
And you were so composed.
I be a
considering
fairy.
the madness backstage.
So I was just winging it when I was on stage.
Hey,
oh God.
Oh yeah. But it was just trying to, take it all in while I was there. I was like, you know what, just calm, enjoy it, and try and take it all in while you're here, because this isn't going to happen again.
Probably not. I mean, you could, walk down this. I mean, where is the costume now? Because I'm assuming you don't get to keep it.
No, so I don't keep it. The costume at the minute is with my director. So typically some of the costumes will stay with nearly in a little Hall of Fame thing in the Mission Retirement Headquarters. So the designer also was hoping to get it back as well at some stage, because she was like, well, we could do some other stuff with it and make it really cool. But at the minute it's with Brittany. So she's carting my wings around.
I hope it gets used again and seen again somewhere, but it wouldn't be the same if it wasn't you. You know what I mean? Like it,
Mhm.
I attach this to you now, so if someone else was wearing it, like, but that's not Nadia.
I've obviously done an okay job if those wings are now going to be remembered for me wearing them.
Well, I keep using the fairy. I keep using the fairy emoji, and I actually think the fairy emoji, at least on my phone, actually has red hair.
Does it?
Not many.
I think,
emojis have
yeah.
red hair.
I think
So
I need to
that'll be
update my keypad.
Maybe I don't know. I just think it's a coincidence. Like it's beyond a coincidence that I use a fairy emoji, which I've never used before, and it has red hair, and it's actually red as well. The fairy is wearing red. You're not quite wearing red, but you know,
it was just so exciting because this idea had kind of the typical in all Irish kind of mythology and stories. When you're growing up as a kid, there are fairies that live around the hawthorn trees, and you respect them and they look after you, and they bring a lot of the Irish luck, and they help to look after kind of the nature of Ireland. So you grew up listening to these stories, and honestly, like you will see fairy doors and little fairy houses all over the place, anywhere you go. And whenever Brittany, at the very start of her bringing on the Moxie era of Miss Universe Ireland, had thought, I would love to bring an Irish fairy onto the world stage. And whenever we were actually talking about it, she had mentioned this to me. And she was like, what are you thinking about? And I was like, well, wings, something quite mystical. And she's like, fairy? And I was like, yes. So we were on the same page. We were actually on the same page on quite a lot of things. But this we were super excited about. And there was a few different ideas of colours and themes. But I'm just so happy with how it turned out.
I love the colours, the tones, like those, the kind of taupey browns, almost little rose gold. It's just such good colours on you, complement your hair and your skin.
Videos, like the straps were leather with like
amazing
gold brushed on them, so there was nearly that. It wasn't like a airy fairy like delicate costume. It was whimsical, but it was also really strong, which I kind of liked. It had a leather back on it, and it was kind of like warrior fairy in my eyes.
Yeah, love it.
Warrior princess.
There we go.
I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting a superhero. I think I even said to you last when you were on, because obviously with your platform, I was like, she's going to be a superhero. And then I was like surprised but delighted with the look that you came out with. I was just like, yes, I see it. And it's traditionally kind of Irish as well, with the fairies. I feel like it hasn't been done. I feel like there's been wings done before, but nothing's been done like this.
Yes, there wasn't. And I think a lot of people expected something like a superhero theme, and we wanted to do nods to the superhero thing, but we didn't want anything to be super obvious.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of guessing. Like there was a few times that Brittany and I both put up on our stories, and people were guessing, like a lot of people guessed leprechauns and green, obviously. But so it was great, and I wanted to stay along the line of kind of storytelling, and that was because that's what I do. That's how I teach. So I like the idea that it comes through storytelling and narrative, and it's through all the storytelling for kids. So yeah, that was my little link that I enjoyed.
Cute.
It was amazing. I was just so glad when I saw it, Nadia, that it wasn't leprechauns and there was actually no green in sight. Because it's like, wow, she's really I didn't expect that, but at the same time it made so much sense. So, and I don't know if that's that easy to pull off. I mean, Chloe here has said favorite national costume performance ever.
There's a little fairy emoji.
Yeah, but see, the emoji here is green with blonde hair, but on mine it's wearing red and it's got red hair, I think. So, okay. So, Nadia, a brave face. Let's have a look at swimwear. We'll go through the 3 clips.
You makes you stronger, stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes you fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over, 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Gorgeous.
The first thing I noticed was the kick. Even when I was doing this, that little kick. Have you done that kick before? Is that your trade? I've never seen you on stage. Is that your trademark or?
that's something I never noticed that I did it, but my team straight away noticed that naturally I do like little kicks when I'm walking. But luckily they were like, we like it, keep it. And I was like, okay, because ironing that out, it's too deep.
No, when I saw that, I thought maybe someone had told you to do it, because it looks really cool. It's like the first thing that I noticed. So, cause as I said, I've never seen you on stage before. Hey, wait for it. Looks
there we
a
go.
little naughty.
And bring it back.
There you go.
Forward. It's like you bring the energy back to go forward.
Yeah, that's how I walk down the high street every day.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Just pop into Tesco.
Walk down to the supermarket. Okay, how did it feel walking in swimsuit on the biggest stage in the world? How were the nerves?
In the universe, rather.
Oh.
Yeah, that too.
Honestly, like I'm not going to lie, I was pretty nervous at prelims before going on. And I think it's just because it was such a big thing. It's like whenever you're teetering on the edge of like, you're scared, but you're excited sort of thing. And I was like, and also that like gown, I'd never had it on me before. So I put it on like 5 seconds before I stepped on stage.
Oh, so you didn't have time to practice.
Danielle, this is what I was saying last week, because Natasha, the South African girl, also said she had never gotten a chance to wear it before. So why did that happen?
I was like, surely they would have given the girls time to rehearse in it.
No, so obviously we did dance routines. You saw that, and the dance routines, there was 4, and some girls were in 3, some girls were in 4, some had more parts than others. And it was kind of a thing of whenever we were doing dance rehearsals, they were sitting in the background. And if you weren't learning this dance, you could grab one and go into the hallway and go up and down in it and practice. You decide to wear it. But I was in all dances. So I was always rehearsing. And I know there was a few girls that were like that as well. So I never actually had tried it on until, and you didn't wear it down even to practice. They handed it to you literally in the wings. And you put it on and went on stage. So I was nervous about that because I was like, there's a couple different lengths. I was like, I don't know what length it is. I don't know how it moves. Yeah,
if you could potentially trip on it if it's that long.
Exactly. And some things, if they're heavier material, they catch around your legs. So even with the spin, I think that's why I was kind of half quick, but took a lot of steps in my spin. So I didn't gather around my legs. But so I was a little bit nervous about that, about falling with that and going down the steps and falling with that. But no, honestly, see, when I got up there and was standing waiting for Ireland to be called, I was just really excited. I was kind of like, it was one of those moments where I tried to take it in, because my team were very good at saying that and reminding me, take 2 seconds just to appreciate where you are, because that is what you're going to remember after this experience. You're going to remember those 2 seconds, because everything else can go in a blur really quickly. So I remember standing on the stage and taking 2 deep breaths. And then I heard them call Ireland, and I was like, oh, it's go time.
What do you see from your viewpoint when you're looking out? Because you've got a lot of lights in your face. Can you actually see the crowd at all, or you just blinded?
So at that venue, we actually could see the kind of the lower platform quite well. There was a lot of lights, but we could see the lower platform and the judges, but the judges were quite low down. So lower than I've ever experienced either. So it was kind of like I was worried about looking down too much. But no, we could.
That's what USA did. USA looked down a lot. I think she was looking at the judges instead of, because the judges look at a panel, don't they? And they judge you from the video panel.
So they have a little TV screen as well. But obviously they look at you as well, but they see the TV screen for further back. But no, you could. There was pretty good like visuals. I know sometimes when you're on stage, all you can see is lights, but there. You see pretty much the whole room, other than the very top tier.
One more. Okay. Gown. What song did I put to this?
Queens on the throne, we will pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. Disobey me, then baby, it's off with your head. Gonna change it and make it a world you won't forget. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't take me. All of the kings had their queens on the.
The first thing when I saw this video, Nadia, or when I clipped it out, was I didn't know Nadia could pout. Look at that pout. And then when you turn around to that pout, it's like, oh wow, a woman of many skills. Look at that pout. How did this? I mean, because there was a story behind this gown as well, wasn't it?
So I love this dress, but this dress was made in Miami. So I had never tried this dress on until a week before finals. It was completely made by hand, by the designer.
Yeah.
So we got the dress, the final fitting, and we collected it the day I checked into Miss Universe. So I'd only got that once to like try it on and go.
Yeah.
I tried it on a couple times in my room, but after that, no, this dress. So we actually, whenever we were designing it, we were very fortunate that Sharon Osp is the designer. She's phenomenal and just kind of, she just got it. She's quite an edgy designer and has a range of skill sets. And if you look at her work, you'll see how she appreciates so many different styles. But whenever she had sent initial sketches, she sent like 5 sketches to Brittany, and Brittany then sent it out to the rest of the team and myself separately, and it said, look, pick your favorite or pick a couple of your favorites. Every single one of us picked this design.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then there was a few different materials sent out as well of these are potentials that we could use, and Brittany sent, I think it was 3 again to all of us individually, and she was like, if we get an idea of what we all like, we can have a talk about it. All of us picked the exact same material.
That's
as well.
Crazy.
So
is this like a gunmetal? Is it a dark?
It's like a navy with gunmetal through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's like a little shimmer of gold as well. And then the bodysuit underneath, we were toying with either nude or the dark blue. It's like a dark navy blue. But we kind of wanted, whenever we went to try it on, with the darker blue, it gave us like a Wonder Woman kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of go along that line.
Yeah, it's sexier as well. You can kind of see like the underneath a little bit, but a little bit, but not too much.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah. So, and I just love the fact that on the hand it was like a glove. So it's
I didn't see the glove. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole left arm
looped through.
And then the flowers go down, and then our sponsor Charlie Lapson, he gave me a ring that then kind of blended into the glove.
Oh wow.
So it worked really well.
Amazing. I can't stop watching.
Keep watching it. Yeah, no.
You were just
watching it.
You were very fierce as well. Like you just embodied that kind of sultry, a little bit like I wanted you to put Dangerous Woman behind this video, because I feel like that would have been something like you makes me feel like a dangerous woman.
That's what we were going for.
Something about you. That's what I feel. That's the song that should have been behind this.
Well, where were you when I was clipping these out at like 2 a.m. in the morning? Just be thankful I didn't put, the what's a really cliche one, the 1 in a million. I put that on Maria's clip. I was like, oh god, worst song, not worst song, but it's just most overused song.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to stop looking at it. Guys, I can see a bunch of you watching. So if you have any questions for Nadia, it's not every day we have a Miss Universe on. So, I mean, there's been no questions, just been a whole bunch of people. So I already told you Chloe said was favorite national costume performance ever. She's also enjoyed the little leg kick. Layla has said she looks amazing on stage. And then Elizabeth has said you looked absolutely fantastic. That dress was honestly fire.
So.
Oh, thank you so much.
Guys, if you have any questions, put them in, because I know a lot of you the ultimate dream is to either be on that same stage that Nadia was, or to become a Victoria's Secret model and do the wing thing that Nadia. Now she's done both. Nadia, I just want to give you a chance to. I don't normally do this, but if you want to thank everyone that was part of the journey, and you can take a minute to think, but I'm sure there's so many people that you want to give a shout out to. So do you just want to go for it?
I could be here all day, honestly, going through the amount of people that supported me through this, whether it was sponsors who went over and above, because in COVID, everything was more complex. And honestly, local businesses, designers, friends all went that extra mile to make sure that I got there, and I got there with everything I needed. And even Chloe emptied her wardrobe for me. and Eden McAllister. They just left suitcases at my front door. And yeah, literally full of clothes. I have to return them because I'm just out of lockdown now. But everyone that worked so hard, my team were there day and night, 24 hours a day, the whole way through. And you guys, like, Adrian was messaging me saying, good luck, do you need anything, do you not want any help? Danielle was checking in. Like, everyone was just phenomenal, and I honestly felt so much love and so much support through this experience, and I just can't wait to feed back into that for everyone else that's kind of coming next, whatever the system is. So thank you, everybody. On all the messages, every message was read, every message was listened to. And
that's one thing I noticed. You were hot on it with your social media. You were replying to everyone. The fans went wild for you, and you really captured the heart of fans because you were responding to people. I
always think they're like, I know obviously all the time it's not possible for everybody if they're getting so many, but people are taking the time to support me, to write those messages, to send love and send support. The least I can do is say thank you, or even just if I'm in a rush, I'll like heart it. Yeah, the very least I can do is that, acknowledge that I've seen it and that I appreciate it. And there was actually someone messaged the Miss Universe Ireland page, and I was busy, but Brittany got it and sent it to me and said, look, this is a lovely message if you want to respond back to it. So I popped on like a couple of days later and responded, and I got no reply. It was a really lovely message of support, but I got no reply after that. And
like, your time's up.
Yeah, a few days ago, the person contacted me on my personal page with a screenshot of the message and said, is this really you on this page? I was like, yeah, I replied to you.
He was thinking it was some sort of, or he or she was thinking it was some sort of bot or a fake account or something.
Yeah, I thought the Miss Universe Ireland page was maybe a fake account.
Or like your managers responded to them instead of actually you, that kind of situ.
Yeah, and my team never respond to messages as me. Do you know what I mean? So if you're getting a response on the Universe Ireland page from me, it's genuinely from me.
I mean, the other thing out of this is that you got your blue tick and you're over 10K. So how does it feel to be a celebrity and better than everyone else?
Oh wow, that's a lot there right now. It was crazy. Like I noticed the numbers kind of going up of followers, but I didn't really. You were too busy to check in. Like, there was some days you were coming in at midnight to go to bed, and I was trying to do social media and post everything then before going to sleep. And respond to people so that I didn't have like a big build up of people at the end. Yeah. So it was actually, I think I haven't even used my swipe up yet. I think it was only when I was coming home I noticed I was over 10K. And one morning I woke up and someone had messaged me to say the blue tick looks well beside your name, and I was like, what blue tick? And I turned around and I was like,
didn't know
the blue tick on my page.
You had no idea.
So it updated for everyone else to see before it would show if I looked on my profile. So when I clicked on to look at my profile, it wasn't there, but everyone else could see it. So I had to message my friends, like, can you check my profile, please? And then, yeah, I just couldn't believe it. All my friends are winding me up left, right, and centre.
I bet.
I love
it's
that.
Actually it's ticked closer to 11K. So I messaged you about it. I said congratulations, and you said you took a screenshot. I don't think that's going away, because once you hit over 10, like, unless you do something drastically wrong, it tends to hover around. So like Chloe's over 10. A couple of my friends are just over 10 as well. And it kind of just stays there. But
well, fingers crossed. It's something, because I think because now I'm home and things are opening up and I want to get involved. One thing I wanted to do is get involved with local charities and local businesses that have really had it difficult over the past year, because obviously now more than ever they need the support. So even something as simple as having a swipe up is so much more simplified by me saying, oh, here's this fantastic business, swipe up, rather than being like, message me, I'm going to send you a link to their page, or here's
slide into the DMs if you want to know more. No, you can just put the swipe up and you can go straight there.
Exactly. So I'm excited to get out, and I've got a few things booked in over the next week or two, like going to visit local charities and businesses. So I'm thankful that I'm going to be able to kind of showcase them on a bigger scale now too.
Well, that is all amazing. Let's go back to the comments. Now, Elizabeth has a question. Let me just go through these first. So Kev has said, love the fairy wings. That was mega well done, Nadia. Mega well done. Is that I tuned into one of Kev's lives the other day, and he was he's having his house built, a new house, I assume.
Okay.
So he was kind of in a temporary house, and it was blowing a gale. It was somewhere near the ocean, I think, Kev, right?
Mm.
And he had rubbish internet, but he decided to jump on, and he was editing photos as Kev does. And I was worried his house was going to blow down. I was listening to his live, and it's like, what's that sound? And it was blowing like a tornado outside. It sounded horrible. Thanks for tuning in, Kev. Frankie has said, I still love that meme/GIF. Which one?
Oh my gosh,
Frankie?
yeah, you have a gift, don't you?
I have a gift now, yeah. I have a superhero gift, a tea time with Nadia gift.
So cool.
Oh, I saw that.
I noticed that today.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
The team were just working on behind the scenes. It was just in the background. We have a lot of surprises.
Your people.
Along.
You've got a meme, you've got a gift, you got all going on. Now, Elizabeth's question, what's your favorite outfit you wore? That's going to be a tough one.
Ooh. That is really tough because I had so much fun with outfits when I was away. Obviously, my evening gown is like, that is life. Like, I don't know. I love it. It's just so me. But taken out of it, like the evening gown and stuff like that for the actual on stage, I think it's between either the floor length dress that I wore out for dinner one night. It was Davies, and it's like it's a special kind of lace. It's near like an elasticated fine lace, like so much so I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. Or the green shorts, like pantsuit, short suit, because when I lifted it out, it was neon green, and I was like, like I'm not gonna lie. On the hanger, I was like, I'm not sure about this. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna look in this. But as soon as I had it on, and I remember that morning I was in such a rush, like I was running really behind. I was loving it. It photographed really well. It looked really well in my stories. Me and Maria, Australia, we were having a little laugh. We actually meant to get a photo and we got pulled away by chaperones because we were both like channeling Clueless vibes that day, and we really enjoyed it.
Love it.
That's our biggest regret, not getting our Clueless photo.
Can I ask you about Maria? I mean, a lot of people fell in love with you. A lot of people fell in love with Natasha, South Africa. Probably by far and away, the most number of people resonated with Maria, mainly, well, for two reasons. Mainly was the fact that she's not white and blonde, so she has the Indian descent. And also the other thing being 5'3". So she's not the 5'10" stereotypical blonde that everyone thinks Universe has to be. So many people, not just Aussies, loved her.
Uh-oh.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Bloody
there you
computer.
Go. You're back.
Oh, jeez. I hate you, tech. But what was Maria like in person? Because she was definitely a fan favorite just from what I saw.
Awful.
Dreadful.
Bloody Aussies and clip.
If she was, I couldn't joke about it. No, she was honestly like the sweetest girl. Like we had kind of spoke. We had a wee WhatsApp group, all of the girls, before I went, and she was so active on that. And before I went, I had a good feeling about her because I was like, she's really making an effort before we even get there. Like she was the first one to send in pictures of her pets, and that's a big deal. That started the whole thing. She is the best little dog. Well, big dog. But so whenever I got there, we were in different groups. So I actually didn't see her for the first few days because we were in different chaperone groups. But whenever, I can't remember which day it was, but I remember she came over and she was like, hey, Nadia, it's nice to meet you. So she made an effort to actually come over and say hello. And yeah, she's just so lovely and friendly and humble. And she's got a really warm welcome. Like you feel it as soon as you talk to her, you completely feel welcome and at ease. And we had a lot of laughs.
Who was your Miss Universe bestie while you were there?
I think Iceland or Singapore. Singapore, Bernadette I had spoken to before I got there. We were speaking for weeks before I even arrived. And when I checked in, because when we checked in, you had to go straight into quarantine until you got your COVID test result the next day. Yeah. And we both checked in on the same day, and I was sitting and checking, and they delivered dinner to your door. I don't know if anyone watched that live, but my dinner arrived whilst I was on live, and I was like, okay, bye. Yeah. Oh. I'm away. Literally. And whenever I was sitting eating my dinner, I think it all kind of was like for everyone, when you're sitting there by yourself and you've been so busy on the run up and you've got a couple of hours, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm actually here. Like, this is all about to start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of hits home. And she video called me, like, out of the blue.
Oh.
And we sat at dinner together on video call.
You had like a date night.
We had a date night together in isolation. And then Elizabeth, Iceland, she was in her room and I was trying to suss out who my roommate might be. So I was trying to figure out, okay, who doesn't have a roommate yet? Who's in isolation? Who's left? And I saw she was putting up really cute stories about her potential roommate, and I messaged her and was like, oh, this is my chaperone. And she was like, oh no, that's not my chaperone. My chaperone's called Shirley. It's like, oh right, I mustn't be her roommate. She lied. She lied. There's no Shirley. She had our chaperone in on it. Our chaperone like walked me to the door, and Elizabeth was sitting there like videoing my reaction.
Typical.
I gotta love a girl who, even in that sort of pressure cooker situation where you could just be very reclusive, to actually have a sense of humor about it. That's very cool. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised that it seems behind the scenes you girls actually really, really got on so well. I don't know if that's typical of Universe. I certainly have heard from other systems where that's not the stage and the girls look like friends, but they're not. But you guys, I mean, I saw like the behind the scenes, not just the posed photos, but the stories and the lives. Like, you guys just seem to get on famously.
Yeah, like honestly, anyone that you spoke to, they were a friend. It was a conversation. It was a genuine conversation. It wasn't even that we were just doing small talk. We very quickly got on to what we do and what we care about and how our families were. And there was nobody really that didn't talk. And it wasn't clicky, which I think part of me expected there to be clicks, especially with us being in groups because of COVID. It wasn't. Everybody made an effort that, because we were separated quite so often, everyone made an effort that during mealtimes you put on your mask, you go over to someone you haven't seen before and you introduce yourself and talk. So it was so lovely.
So many questions, guys. If you have any other questions, put them in. Kev is saying, oh, Cornwall, about 12 miles away from the coast. I live in a town called Callington. Anyone know where that is? You know where Cornwall is?
I know where Cornwall is, but not Callington.
Okay.
I saw that
Ralph
he was in Paynton today. Is that near Paynton?
I don't know where that is. Ralph has said, good afternoon, all. Loved your costume, and you were one of my favorite contestants, Nadia. With the
thanks,
bouquet of
Ralph.
flowers. Nadia, pageant hangover is a thing that I often talk about, and it's very real.
Yes.
Do you have any pageant hangover? I mean, I got to imagine you've come back from America, you're back in Ireland, you had to go into like a week of not seeing anyone. What's it like being back now? It's got to be surreal.
It is. So there was a part of me obviously was very excited to get home. Like I would say, I like my job. I actually really enjoy my job. And I was excited to get back and get stuck in, because before I left, we couldn't go into schools, whereas now we can. So I'm back in a school tomorrow morning.
Right.
And just to like be around my friends, because everyone was out seeing each other again. Restrictions had lifted and I was still not seeing anybody. But when I got home from the airport on, I think I just started to go downhill. Whenever I got home, the jet lag kicked in massively. And I just needed a few days. I wasn't really on social media the first few days. And it was just because I needed some time to sleep and eat and not really talk to people.
Yeah.
Because
it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
So overwhelming. Sometimes you just want to like close the door, put on like a Netflix series, have a cup of tea and some biscuits, and just like be a little potato.
I think it was a mixture of pageant hangover and jet lag, adrenaline crashing, everything. So I needed a few days to kind of get myself back together. And then obviously there was the fun isolation period, which was, I think it was 9 days I ended up doing, or 8 days, because you had to get your last test on day 8 and wait then for that result. And yeah, so many swabs. And then my house whenever I was away. So I was trying to get to grasp with unpacking all my luggage, finding where all my stuff is, because we've moved house and everything's different and everything's packed away all over the place. So yeah, trying to organize my life so I can function again.
The swabs are still going up the nose, right?
Throat and
Is it-
nose.
It's so,
Both. Yeah.
they're so invasive. I can't. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it because at least we can get tests, but I'm just not just a fan of having the giant cotton bud stuck up your nose and it feels like it's gone up into your. It feels like it's ended up somewhere here.
Tickling
It's
your
like-
brain.
Yeah, it's not polite. It's like, oh God, right up there. I got to have my vaccine shortly, so I've had a bit of COVID on the brain. Kev here has said, yes, I'm currently in Callington, but my home is being built in Pain. Is that Paynton?
Paynton, yeah.
Okay. I don't know where that is. Frankie has said, black dress wedding vibes. I know you are for sustainable fashion.
Oh.
I definitely am into sustainable fashion, but you will not see that dress at my wedding. I will make an exception for that day.
You're not going to live stream the wedding, are you? We're not going to have like a universe show for your wedding, are we? You're going to go up there on stage and
Never thought
lighting
of that.
and
To get a reel of me walking down the aisle.
Yeah.
kick. Bring out the kick.
Yeah,
I can just imagine you going live on the dance floor, like
Oh my
you're a
goodness.
bit merry. You've tied the knot. You're on the dance floor, and you're like, yeah.
No, my wedding is going to be relatively small and very, very intimate. So
Oh.
at the minute we're starting the wedding dress search too. So that'll be exciting.
Well, you're gonna have a ton of designers wanting to work with you on your wedding dress. Just saying.
Hopefully, if there's any out there, you know where I am.
There was
Well, you
a
got the blue tick
designer.
now.
No,
There's
for
a
the music.
a designer in Thailand that did Miss Canada's SAYERS wedding dress, and they offered to do her wedding dress because obviously she was Miss Universe Canada, and yeah, she was
Oh my
getting married. So you know,
That's kind of, it's trying to balance it now where I'm coming out post Miss Universe, focus on what I'm putting then in for Miss Universe Ireland while for the rest of my reign, whilst also trying to do the wedding stuff in the background and find a new house.
just a little bit on your plate, just a little bit.
I wouldn't be
Come
like
back from Miss Universe, organize my wedding, find a new house, get back to work. What do you do in your spare time?
sleep.
Sleep.
I am known as the nap queen in my family.
Are you one of those people who can fall asleep anywhere? I wish I was. I'm not.
I could sleep in the car, on the floor. I could sleep in a coffee shop if I needed to. I don't, but I could.
On the floor. That's a good Miss Universe Island. Who's that? That's Miss Universe Island on the floor, collapse in a heap.
Taking a nap.
Oh, I can't do that. Like planes. Can you sleep on planes? I can't. I mean, because I'm tall as well. I can't fit. Danielle's going, no, she can't.
Nope.
I can sleep on planes, but it's because I'm excited. I get really I'm like a big child when I travel. I love being on planes and going through airports. So it's more, I don't want to miss anything. I want to watch the movies and see all the snacks and everything. So I just I can't sleep. I think it's a wasted journey. You don't experience the plane.
You're excited to see the movies when you go on a plane? You can see those movies anywhere.
I get
But
so much.
sometimes they have new releases. Sometimes they do have new releases that you can't even see in the cinemas.
And I get dressed. Even if I'm going on holidays, I'll get dressed up for the airport just because I enjoy it.
Oh, I don't do that. My thinking with dressing for the airport is always what's going to be easiest to get through the security points. Because, if you wear certain things and you have to take them off, and if you've got your pockets and your laptop,
Belts,
boots. So I go track pants, so there's no belts. I wear sneakers, so I don't have to take my shoes off, and everything is just. I love traveling, but I don't like going through the airport, the customs, and the security. I just wish I could circumvent all that. Mind you, for me, it's probably twice as long as it's for you guys to travel anywhere. I mean, for me to get to Vegas would be in excess of 20 hours at least.
Ooh.
It'd be a 20, probably in some cases when I flew to the UK, it was 48 hours from door to door.
We just go the other way.
Yeah, Danny.
Can't you do that?
Tell the pilot.
You don't have to go
That's
one way around the planet. You can go the other way, surely.
That's the way it works. Just go. First off, that's the way it works. And secondly, yeah, sure. I'll just talk to the pilot, my good mate, and say, why don't you just fly the other way, mate? You know, we'll get there a lot sooner. She'll be right.
Give yourself some time, some petrol. Turn this bird around.
Oh God, I love planes, but I hate commercial flying. It's like if I was going to splurge on anything, the first thing I'm going to splurge on is extra, like not foot room, leg room, like you know the escape
first
aisle.
class. Fly first class.
I don't. First class just feels a little excessive. Like I could go premium economy or business, but first class where you get all the champagne and the caviar, and I think I'm bougie enough.
We want the bougie.
You want the bougie. That is your favorite word, is bougie.
I want the bougie. I want the champagne. I want the bed. I want the nice food. Can't afford it, but you know, girl can dream. If I won the lottery, I'd definitely be flying. Actually, I probably wouldn't be flying first class. I'd just have a private jet.
And then she'd fly wherever she wants.
Yeah,
then I go any which way around the world I want to go. I can get in the.
You don't have to go anywhere, Danielle. All you have to do is get on the plane, get it to fly circles around and around, so you can have
this way. I'll be flying past you lot that are going the long way, being like,
your champagne.
Yeah, we call it cattle class. You'd be like, see ya, peasants, bye.
Royal wave as I go past.
Royal wave or royal finger. I honestly don't think I would, because you know that you have a certain amount of finances. I would go the business or economy because of how long it takes to fly there. But I would probably, because like first class to business class is another like 2 times expensive, right? If it's 5,000 in business,
you can bid, and it depends how many miles you got as well, because you can claim your miles.
Right, I have no miles. I have no.
Because like not in 2020. In 2020,
no.
Although
if you were getting miles in 2020, I'm like, oh yeah, well yeah. Apart from God, that was how long ago now? That was 15 months ago. I was in the UK.
I know, it's wild, isn't it?
Jeez.
Come back soon.
Although there's been breakouts in Australia recently, hasn't there?
Oh, okay.
There's been 11 new cases in Victoria.
Yeah, so poor Victoria. So I don't know if you guys know the states in Australia, but I'm in New South Wales, which is where Sydney is. Victoria is in Melbourne, which is directly to the south, and then to the west of that, sort of the big Bight area, that's South Australia, which has Adelaide. So someone in South Australia caught COVID whilst working in quarantine there, travelled to Melbourne, and that's how the breakout in Melbourne started. It's actually from Adelaide. So there's a bit of argy-bargy going on at the moment. People in Melbourne are like, God, bloody Adelaideans, you got sick there, brought it over here, and thanks. Because Melbourne, remember, was the one that literally had curfew. It's like it was wartime in Australia. And now they've got to go into lockdown again. The leader of Victoria, his name is Dan Andrews. So the PM is the national leader. The leader of a state is called a premier. Poor guy. I mean, imagine leading your state through COVID, first of all. Second, he had to lock down, which everyone hates you for. Like either way you go, you have people hating you. Third thing, the poor guy, there's a reason there's an acting premier at the moment. He was staying at an Airbnb, slipped down the stairs, broke his back.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm just like, poor guy. Like, who cares about the political decisions and the political affiliations? Like, poor guy can't get a break. Can you imagine? You got to lock down.
Got a break in the back.
Yeah. But tish. Like, he's had to lock down the state 3 times now, and then he was at an Airbnb, slipped down the steps, and broke his back.
Oh my goodness.
So,
how much back can someone get?
That's Melbourne right now. Sydney, thankfully, I don't think we've got too much going on, but I'm going to go get my jab in about 2 weeks. So I can get inoculated against all this horrible, horrible nonsense. COVID, if you're watching, you can go away now. Had enough. Not a fan. Okay. Elizabeth, the floor can sometimes be so comfy, especially in our kitchen, thanks to the aga.
Yeah.
What's the aga?
Yeah, it's an aga.
What's an aga?
It's like a big old stove, but it gives off loads of heat.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
They're
They're
so
amazing.
good.
Sleep
I'd
on the
love
floor
one.
next to a stove. Is that sounds like a
Yeah,
lot of
because
cat
it still
food.
stays warm, so it's
Uh-huh.
almost like having a fire.
Okay, all right. I'm learning. Chloe, hello, Chloe. I love sleeping on planes. The jet noises relax me.
What? She's
Oh,
the weirdest person in the
that's like
world,
white
this
noise
one.
for her.
She loves the feeling of injections from the dentist, and she can
What?
sleep on aeroplanes. Yeah, Chloe's got a thing where she likes the injections from the dentist. She likes the feeling of being numb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when you fall all over the place because you can't close your mouth. She likes that.
She likes it.
Okay.
she's,
I love you, Chloe. I love you.
she's weird, but we love you.
Yeah.
But you just said okay was perfect. Okay. That sums it up. Anytime Chloe tells me anything, it's like, okay. Moving on. She's also said there are loopholes to getting first class, apparently, with point systems. I get that, but what I was going to say is like, I would rather take the extra money I would save, like let's say it's twice as much as business, and like either up my accommodation or like extend my holiday. That's the way I would go. I mean, partly because it's also so expensive flying anywhere from Australia.
This
But,
is why you don't get upgraded, because you go in your trackies
Yeah.
and your
Mm.
trainers, so you don't get upgraded. Whereas if you go looking bougie like me and Nadia, you're at a higher chance of being upgraded for free.
Danielle, I don't want to stereotype, but there's a higher chance of you guys getting upgraded no matter what you wear, because you guys look like what you look like and I look like this. This is not an upgradable face.
If you come visit before you fly home, we'll bougie you up and then see what happens.
I don't want to go as a drag queen, Nadia. We've talked about this before. I'm not okay with wearing the makeup and all the glam stuff. I don't look good as a woman. I've tried those Instagram filters and I'm like, oh God, I'm never looking at that again. I did get upgraded once, but my luck, I think it was a flight from Chicago to Wisconsin, which is one of the shortest flights in the world. I think it was like basically the guy, and this is no bit of a lie. You spend longer taxiing than you do in the flight.
Oh,
so I got, like business class, but it didn't mean anything. Like,
didn't even bother serving the champagne. You don't have long enough to drink it.
No, although the smallest plane I've ever been on was a plane between, I think, the Fiji Islands, because I had to fly from the main island in Fiji to a private island where we were having a seminar. That plane was so small. It's one of the ones they have to put certain numbers of people on each side to balance it. Otherwise, the plane goes like this. And you could see into the cockpit. They didn't even close the door. You could see the two pilots doing their thing and, with the instruments and everything. And they were Fijians. They're massive. There was barely enough room for two of them sat side by side in this tiny thing. And, it's one of those ones when every time the wind blows outside, which is quite often because you're flying, the whole plane is like shuddering and juddering. And when it lands, it feels like the end of the world. And it never feels like that was interesting. No one wants to fly anymore. Good job, me. Erica has said, ouch, I've had my first now, but we have the Indian variant. Yeah, this is why I stopped watching the news, because now there's news that the Indian variant and I think the UK variant got together and had a child. As long as the vaccine.
I do sometimes. I believe the conspiracy theories on some of these like variants. There's loads of different variants. Isn't there supposed to be a Thai variant now? And I think it's just COVID. It's just
I don't really
COVID.
watch the news of it because I think I'm going to worry about all these different variants, and me worrying about it is not going to fix it or stop me getting it. So
exactly,
I just need to know what I need to do to stay as safe as I can and nothing else.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Basically, sleep until this is all over, Nadia. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, that was my plan, but my boss wasn't for it. So
well, that's fair enough. You also have a wedding to get to. All right, Danielle, this one's for you, or Nadia. Erica, really? It's based on what you're wearing? Okay, so the upgrade, the free upgrade.
If you look smart and presentable, you're more likely to get an upgrade than you are if you were wearing like a trackies.
And are super friendly. If you walk on the gate and you're super friendly and you make a personal connection with them.
Yeah. So when you get to the front desk, when you check in, like at least make a point of asking how their day is going.
Yeah,
Then
make
they're
them
more
feel like
likely.
friends.
They'll then look because they'll have they'll have the seats allocated, and if they've got quite a few seats in business or first, they're more likely to upgrade them if you've got a nice person.
Mhm.
So that's
That's why I never get upgraded, because I have a permanent scowl on my face. So, yep. Chloe has said, I'm with Adrian on the trackies and sneaks at the airport. That'd be funny then. If a whole bunch of us go traveling together, half of us is going to be bougie AF and the other half of us are going to be in trackies and sneakers. So, you know, you'd never tell all of it. What's this? Keva said, I have a vision of Adrian approaching the boarding gate dressed as bougie as Austin Powell.
That would be awesome.
Chest wig in tow.
It'd have to be a big wig, I can tell you that. I was about to do an Austin Powers impression, but I won't do that because no one needs to hear that. Ralph has said, got my vaccines already. Just felt a little dizzy and a little nauseous this morning after my second vaccine. I will still wear my mask to protect myself and those around me. Good on you, Ralph.
I've got my first one. My first one on the 12th of June.
We might get the vaccine at the same time. I'm going to just say, Ralph, just make sure you're not pregnant, because that also sounds like what happens when you're pregnant. Just felt a little dizzy and a little nauseous this morning, so just be careful.
No, I need to book it. I tried to book it yesterday, but there was no appointments left, so I need to check tonight and tomorrow.
Just tell them you've got the blue tick, Nadia, and you're Miss Universe Island.
I will Instagram it. No.
And here's Miss Universe Island going live. Watch the needle go in and half your audience passes out.
They recorded me getting my COVID test at Miss Universe and played it on the big screen.
Oh, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's not cute.
Yeah, because the doctor guy that was doing the swabs, he's like my best friend. He's great. We were talking from the start, and whenever I went up, he was like having a laugh, like just chatting away to all the girls. And one of the guys that was videoing everything, you just make friends with everybody because we were waiting in a queue to get swabbed. So I thought he was just going to video me waiting to go in. And I was like, oh, hey, so excited, all that. And went in and sat down, put your head back, ready to go. And the next thing in my peripheral, see this camera coming in. And I was like, and then the doctor was like, head back, you're great at this. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Then during rehearsals, I saw it on the big screen.
At least they're showing that you're taking precautions.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone needed to see it that
close.
But if it helped people.
So maybe you should consider being a spokesperson for the swab company then?
Here, I could give that a go. I'll mention it to my team.
You've got the footage.
Yep. Here's
PPE.
Your first piece of material.
Sponsored by a PPE company.
That's a good idea for a national costume right there. PPE. I was going to say there's 2 times people say you should never take a photo of someone. One is when they're eating. And one is when they're on the toilet. I think we should add when they're getting their COVID test done to that list. It's not a good look. I mean, I'm sure Nadia made it look as cute as possible, but still.
I tried, but I still remember like one single tear in this eye, and I was like, don't drop, don't fall.
Imagine
because you were so emotional.
I was just like
gagged.
Whenever, like it's a sensitive area that they're swabbing in my nose. My hand started to water, and this one started to go, and I was like, please don't go yet. Please just stay. But they didn't mention it, and the doctor called me a tripper. He said I did a good job, so it was okay.
I love all these things that you guys have to do as queens. It's like you're getting a swab halfway up into your brain. It's like, don't cry. Don't cry. They're filming me. Be a queen. Look, oh my God.
I'm at Miss Universe. I'm Miss Universe. Damn it. Like, oh, God.
Yep.
I think that's the funniest mental image I've had in a long. You weren't in your sash, were you, when you had the whole thing done?
Adrian, I was in a bright pink suit with my sash on, fake lashes and everything.
Like, I'm ready for my swab.
I'm ready. Come test me.
I'm ready for my swab now.
Yeah.
Miss Universe Island here.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, full of jokes walking in and then regretted it the second I sat down.
oh, I don't know where to go because of that. Oh, that's hilarious. Elizabeth has said, I've had both of my vacations. You mean vaccinations, Elizabeth? Or vacations? Erica has said, I miss lockdowns, lol. It was nice and quiet here. That there's a subset of people who actually during lockdown were quite happy because they don't like being around people so much. Like they can't, like the introverted people. And I got to say, I was somewhere the other day, out in public. I was on the Northern Beaches, actually, what we call an RSL. It's like a bougie pub. And there were a lot of people there. And I felt a little bit just low-key uncomfortable because I'm not used to being around people anymore. So I don't think you're alone on that one.
That's something I was Eric, about. I did an Instagram live earlier, the Tea Time with Nadia, and I kind of wanted to talk about like coming out of like leaving lockdown because it's something that I felt and forgot about before going to Miss Universe. But I was coming from a country that was in lockdown. I saw one person daily. Everything else was on my phone.
Yeah.
And I was going through airports, going somewhere where I was allowed anywhere, could see everyone, and it was a lot of like incoming stimuli. And like our social batteries aren't used to it anymore. Your social battery goes way down a lot quicker now because you're not used to so many people and so much energy around you. And quite a lot. So I went on and talked about that, and quite a few people came on and said the same thing. They were anxious about going out of their house because they were worried they couldn't kind of keep up the stamina nearly to socialize. Or they were worried about being peer pressured into going to things and doing things that they weren't comfortable with. So it's just a lot of having to kind of empathize and be understanding and communicate at the minute, but it's only natural people are going to feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is completely accurate, but they say introverts, when they socialize, it drains their energy, whereas extroverts, when they socialize, it recharges them. So there are some, there are some people like
I love it. So I really struggled during lockdown, like really struggled mentally. So some people might have been fine because it's like nice for them, but for me it was dreadful. And now I'm out. I'm like, get me out. I want to see everyone. I want to go to parties. I want to go out for dinner every night.
See, I'm like, I think I'm like, I would say situational extrovert. Like I would be naturally more introverted. So like I feel like now, even like whenever I was at Miss Universe, it was pure adrenaline. So it was fine. But in general, I would kind of feel myself going down, and I know my social battery isn't what it was. So lockdown being kind of by myself wasn't the issue. It was not having the freedom to go outside and do things. Like even today, the first thing I did today was I went out and sat in a coffee shop by myself because I wanted to be out and about, but I also wanted space for my own mental space. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, because some fella was saying that he was kind of really loved reading now, but he wasn't seeing anybody anymore. And I was like, okay, you need a time block reading time, and then make sure you socialize sometimes.
Well,
that's one thing that I have done a lot more during lockdowns. I've read a lot more, and I wouldn't have done that normally because I would be out living my life, doing X, Y, and Z, out and about, living my life. So no, that's one good thing about the lockdown. I have read more. I want to keep that.
It'd be a good idea. Erica here said, I guess I haven't flown for so long since 2014.
Oh, girl, book a flight.
Frankie, if something is wrong with your seat, then they can upgrade you too, e.g. if your TV isn't working. Okay, so Frankie, you're telling me, I'm reading subtext between the lines, you're telling me next time I sit down in economy class, I should break my TV so that they upgrade me.
And I mean, if you accidentally wet yourself, they do have to move you. Technically.
You came up with that, Danielle?
Don't know.
I'm just thinking,
one.
How can I get into first class? Hey, let's pee my pants.
Danielle, Latimer.
Videos of this next time.
Yeah, no, you can tell Danielle's been writing her autobiography.
Viral moment. Beauty Queen has incident on flight. Which one was it? Did she break a TV or could she not get to the bathroom?
Really? We've gone to the wetting ourselves?
Well, I mean, they, if you
How
want to
does
go
your
first
brain
class,
go to that? I mean, honest to God.
the commitment, they're more likely to fly you out the plane than they are putting you in first class if you do that.
Just imagine if you're the person next to you. I mean, they always say that there's a face when someone's wetting themselves, so you have your wetting yourself face on, and the poor person next to you. Oh, dear me. I don't know where to go from that either. That's the bar's been set pretty low.
I mean, if there's an issue with the chair, then they have to move it. This is what I've learned from Frankie's information there.
Poor Nadia. Nadia, did you? I won't make Danielle do this again. But Nadia, did you hear what Danielle's most embarrassing moment was?
No, come on.
I'm not going to make you disclose it, Danielle. But so Nadia doesn't know because I'm just now thinking of that. I mean, you've gone from that moment to now talking about peeing yourself, and I'm like, yeah. I'm not sure if I can sit next to you when you're traveling.
Okay, I have to say it now.
Which one? The peeing?
I'm getting
No, you don't need to bring it up.
I never wet myself. You brought it up. I have to say it now. Now Nadia's going to be like, what's
your
your embarrassing moment?
You can tell her afterwards. You don't have to say it now.
Voice me after.
This is true. This
is
true.
Yeah. You
then
don't have to, Danielle.
Everyone in the comments going to be like, why did I sound like?
Because it is really embarrassing. It's really funny.
Really embarrassing.
But it's really embarrassing.
You know when you go into a pageant interview,
yes,
and you haven't best prepared yourself. This basically came up, and they said to you, "What was your most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?" I think they wanted to maybe loosen me up, and the only thing that come to mind was the truth.
Oh no! No.
Loosen you up is a very unfortunate turn of phrase when it comes to you.
Basically,
Danielle,
I have to say it now.
You don't have you don't, because then you're going to blame me. So you made me say it again.
Brought it up.
Not yet. And let's leave it there. Let's leave it inside where it belongs.
I'll tell you, Nadia, afterwards.
Yeah, I'll get it after. Yeah.
Oh, we're building it up so much.
Don't tell the truth. Don't tell the truth when you walk into a pageant interview. Have an answer ready. A PG-13 U-rated answer for the most embarrassing moment of your life. Have something ready to rock and roll, because that question might come up, and then you don't want to tell them the truth.
And that one came up for me, and I was like, "Your worst
what
date."
One?
Your
worst date. Oh yeah. I can't tell anyone about my worst date. That's for sure.
You need like an acceptable answer.
Hang on. Worst day or worst date?
Like date.
Like going on a date.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I ate one that was pretty bad the other day. So does that count?
Oh God, and I'm the one that does bad dad jokes.
Well, I just figured it's no one's business to ask about my worst date, so I'm going to play dumb and then see where you go from there. I don't like being asked those sorts of questions. It's like, what does this have to... Anyway, don't get me started on... No, because if I got asked a question like that, I would get angry and start yelling. You'd hear all this carrying on from the interview room. It's like, it's none of your business. Chloe has said, 100% agree, Nadia. Social anxiety has been a real issue for me since lockdown restrictions lifted, which is strange because usually I'm quite sociable.
Shit.
I think everyone's feeling that to some extent or the other. We're just trying to get used to being around people and knowing what we can do, what we can't do. And we've retrained our brains for the past year and a half to distance ourselves from everybody. So it's trying to kind of break down those habits that we've built over the past 18 months and try and go back to some form of normality that's still kind of halfway safe, if that makes sense. But we got you, Chloe.
They would strap you to the wing, not put you in first class. Who are you talking to?
I think she's talking about me.
I'm assuming it's not Nadia.
If someone's to hypothetically wet themselves, then they'll probably strap you to the wing instead of putting you in first class.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hypothetically. Just think about it.
We're using big words tonight. Elizabeth has said, you also get upgraded if you manage to dislocate something. Ooh. I would know that from a personal and painful experience.
Ooh.
Sounds like you've got an an embarrassing story or a story there, Elizabeth. I've never dislocated anything. I don't want to. It looks incredibly painful.
I'm going to have to fake dislocating something to get upgraded. It's wrong on so many levels. One of these days, one of these is going to pay off, and I will put it on Instagram. I'll be like, it works, guys, tried and tested.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, the thought of you putting a live up where you've dislocated something, or Nadia's being filmed when she's getting the swab put up her nose and trying not to cry. I don't know which one's worse. Speaking of embarrassing moments, Danielle, what have you been up to? I haven't got a chance to ask you. So, what have you been up to since last week?
It's not
Did you like my
embarrassing.
segment, Danielle?
Pardon?
God. You've been talking about wetting yourself to get an upgrade because you just want to be bougie.
Hypothetically, like
if
there was something wrong
how
with
is
your
wetting
seat,
yourself bougie?
Okay, what
There's
if you
something wrong with your seat
okay.
after you've wet yourself.
It didn't mean you've got to urinate. You could spill water down yourself.
Okay.
Didn't think about that, did you? No.
No,
Get your mind out the gutter.
It's not
I didn't say urinate. I didn't say urinate. I said wet yourself. You could spill water down yourself.
Technicality.
Okay, so if you ever see Danielle traveling in first class, you'll know how. Either she's dislocated something, she's wet herself, or she's wet herself, whichever way you want to go with it. Traveling tips from Danielle Latimer. Danielle, what have you been up to over the last week? How have things been?
Just catching up with friends. I had quite a few clients recently, which is nice. And working. That's about it, really. We've had some news on our house. We should be in the next few weeks. Our searches are back, so hopefully this week we'll have a completion date. So, woo!
It's amazing.
Yeah, we'll be in Barry Bungalow soon.
Chloe has said you can borrow my cast, Danny. You have a cast?
She's got one in her hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how
like
bad it is. I didn't read the message.
Like a strap-on splint thing. Yeah.
Oh. I told you to go get it checked out, Chloe, and I'm glad you did. I also messaged your mum saying, please make sure she goes and check herself out, because that other time when you broke your finger and you didn't get it looked after, and it still to this day is bent. So please don't do that. It's her pinky, you can see it's bent because she broke it and then didn't go to have it looked at because she broke it, I think, when she was on holiday. So she's forever going to have a bent pinky. I don't know which hand that's on, but Elizabeth has said, I have so many interesting stories. I don't do normal. Do tell, Elizabeth. Do tell.
Nobody wants to be normal.
Well, normal is very, very overrated. Chloe has, the doctor laughed at my pinky today and said it's too late now.
No, too late. Too late. There's nothing. There's no saving it.
No, you just have to break it again, and then you can ever break it and reset. Although I wouldn't say so. Which hand was that on, Chloe? Is that on your left hand as well? Because if it's on your left hand, I feel sorry for your left hand. That's getting an absolute trashing. Okay. Well, I feel like we could talk forever. But it's already been over an hour. Nadia, you got so much on your plate. You're going back to work, planning your wedding, still got the rest of your reign. When is the next Miss Universe Island pageant on? It's this year, right?
It'll be this year, yeah. It'll be this year at some point.
Ooh, no spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers at all. But no, we're very excited, and like, although my reign is going to be shorter and the next Queen's reign is going to be shorter, I just can't wait to kind of feed into that sisterhood, because I've been so fortunate that Fig, Colleen, Grania, I've been talking to every single one of them. Every other day they were checking in on me when I was away. They still do. So you can see that they really are like a family, and they do help each other and support each other, because they're the only other people in the world that understand what it's actually like. So I can't wait to kind of be a part of that now for the next person, and try and put what I've learned into their training as well. So very excited.
Can you tell us if it's going to be an in-person pageant or whether it would be, again, a virtual pageant?
We will have to see.
Oh, okay.
I think as well, a lot of it is, again, COVID dependent and all of that too. So that's another reason why I don't want to say whatever, because we don't know.
Yeah,
what it's going to be like.
Subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully by that time things have gotten better. I know things in America have gotten a lot better because so many people have been vaccinated now. Florida, which used to be a hotspot, and now everyone's out and about on the beach. So hopefully we're rounding a corner. I do feel for other countries that aren't as fortunate, such as India, although they're rounding a corner. Although when I say rounding a corner, their number of new cases is going down, but it's still like 2,000 a day, to give you perspective. Like 2,000 a day, because that's how many people are in India.
Crazy.
It's absolutely horrible. I mean, they had such pressure. This is where people who say it's just a cold, they really anger me, because it's not just a cold, because so many 100,000 people died, and the Indian system, they had 3 people in hospital beds, like 3 people per bed, because they had no room, and people were dying in ambulances waiting for bed space. So don't tell me it's just a cold, okay? Just go and get vaccinated, and if you don't want to get the vaccine, that's your choice, but then be ready to wear the consequences, because you may not be able to travel if you don't have the vaccine. And I could understand that. If I'm the leader of a country that doesn't have COVID cases and you come in, I think it's reasonable to expect you to be vaccinated, but to each their own. It is a crazy, crazy time. Everyone has their opinion. Chloe has said, my pinky was my right hand. Lol, I'll never be a hand model now. Well, if you, I don't know, have something that doesn't involve the pinky on your right hand, then maybe you can be a model for giving someone the thumbs up. You can still do this. So, I don't know. Elizabeth has said normal was boring. Flew to Poland at 6 weeks post having a broken pelvis.
Ooh,
because wanted to do a youth exchange. That does sound very, very painful. I was going to ask Nadia something, but I think I've run out of questions. Danielle, do you have any other questions for Nadia before we let her go back to her busy life?
I know a little bit more about her prep out there. Like, I know you got a few photo shoots, you had some walking training. What was the process when you got there?
It was just nonstop. It was super busy, because even something as simple as getting my eyebrows tinted, couldn't get that done here before I left.
Oh yeah.
Everything was still closed. I hadn't had my nails done, my eyebrows done, anything in a year. So
oh my goodness. So it was really like that scene from Miss Congeniality. Did they like hire out a plane hanger?
So I was lucky that the day before my flight, close contact services were allowed to open, and this amazing woman was able to kind of fit me in real quick and like get my extensions put in. She like opened later for me to be able to do it. So that was the only thing I was able to get done, but I still hadn't been able to like go to a hairdresser to get my hair like washed or cut or anything beforehand. She just cut them in. So when I got there, it was straight on for dress fittings and trying on, because most of my sponsor outfits got sent straight there rather than trying to bring them all over. So fitting those so we could get alterations done, walking training, interview training. Obviously we did quite a bit of walking training, which was good, just because we wanted to try and make sure that no matter what the stage setup, we were able to kind of, I was able to get the kind of feel for it and feel confident when I was there. And then just styling sessions, doing photo shoots, because again, we did one photo shoot here because of restrictions, and like my headshot that's used everywhere, like my official headshot with my crown, was taken out beside a field with a clothes reel with a white bed sheet hung over it outside at 8 a.m. and I did my own hair and makeup, and like I was like, I love the photo, and I think I love it even more because I know this everything that went into it. But,
this one,
that one, yep, that the background is a white bed sheet over a clothes reel that my friend was holding one side of it to keep it still so there's no creases. So that was really the only kind of crown photos we had. was that one day. So they wanted to get some more, even for the likes of marketing and social media stuff.
Yeah.
For whenever I was going in, because again, normally we would have 3 months up with the team before we went to the final, whereas we had 10 days. So everything was in 10 days. Even then, just walking me through what Miss Universe could be like, and like setting my expectations and helping me with my social media stuff, all of that had to be obviously put into the end of the 10 days, whilst trying to keep ourselves as safe as possible, because I had COVID tests galore to pass. But yeah, and then practicing in the wings.
Oh wow, sounds like a whirlwind 10 days before.
Yeah, so crazy, so busy. Like, I think at the time the days seemed super long, but the 10 days flew in, and it was the same with Miss Universe. The days themselves felt really long, like in a positive way, like because we fitted so much into them. But it was literally like the final was on the Sunday. On the Saturday, we were walking back to our rooms after rehearsals and stuff, and we all kind of looked around. We're like, "This is our last night." Like walking back together as part of the competition. Like, tomorrow night, the competition will be done. Some girls won't even be going back to their rooms, and we'll know like which girl. Do you know what I mean? Like we will know. And I think that was the crazy part, because you see Miss Universe everywhere. Like, if you're in pageantry, this is the pinnacle. And I was like, I'm actually going to know her. Like, I know her.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I know her as a person.
One of these people is going to have it.
Exactly. I was like, one of us is going to be her. And I think it was crazy to try and get your head around it.
Yeah. Did you have much time to get to know Mexico at all?
Not as much as I would have liked. Like, we would have talked and stuff in passing, and we weren't super close. But again, she was in a different kind of COVID grouping, and we didn't get to do many events together. But during rehearsals and stuff, she was, I think, behind me for part of the dances and rehearsals, so we would have been chatting then. And actually, that night when we were going back up the stairs to change for something, me and her were having a laugh. And having wee jokes. She really is a genuine girl. She's a lovely person, and it warmed my heart to kind of know that crown has went on the head of someone who actually cares and is going to put goodness into the world.
Absolutely. Do you have any questions, Adrian?
No, I mean, I've been talking about Nadia nonstop ever since I've been messaging her all the time, and I even accidentally sent her a message that I wasn't supposed to. I was helping someone else with their social media, and I pasted my answer into Nadia, and I saw Nadia had started reading it. So in a panic, I'm like, delete. Like, I'm not talking to you about your social media. Like, yeah.
He was like, oops. I was like, okay. I was wondering where that came from, but I would have appreciated it.
Me telling Miss Universe what to do. No. I'm a ways off of that. But no, I mean, it might sound a bit silly, but I'm certainly proud of you. I know Chloe, well, you saw the crying clip. She said she's so proud, and she had the tear rolling down her eye, not with a swab, but because she was crying. So obviously, I love the fact that Maria made top 10, but to be honest, I was following your journey a bit more closely than the Aussie girl. That's because I know you, and you're a genuine. And speaking of genuine people, as I said to Chloe, I was like, if there's anyone who's going to go to Universe and come back without a big hit, it's going to be Nadia. So, good to have you back. Well done. Keep fighting the good fight, and the best is yet to come. So I think just before we hang up, guys, if you have any more questions or comments for Nadia, put them in now. I'm just going to replay the fairy video one more time.
He loves it.
Well, who doesn't? All right, one more time.
Take back my life song, prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Stop me right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song, and I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fire left in me.
And that's how you do it, guys. That's how it's done. Well, Nadia, thank you so much for coming on once again.
Always.
And thank you to Danielle for her time as well. And Chloe for tuning in on the comments with her broken left hand and wonky pinky. Chloe, I'm crying
She's
again.
cried
You've made
again.
violence. Got a lot of tears going on. Danielle's going to wet herself. Chloe's crying, and Nadia has a swab up her nose in the video. She's crying as well. So we're a very emotional and crazy lot, aren't we? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Nadia and Danielle, obviously, hang on for a sec whilst I hang up with the audience. But we will see you next week. Our guest is going to be from, I was going to say Canada. It's called Canada, Adrian.
Canada.
Yes, Canada. Melanie Renault, who's a Galaxy contestant from Canada. So we will see you next week. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Just a reminder to you entrepreneurial types to come and join us at our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/the Pageant Boss. I'll see you inside and see you in the next episode.